To gas or not to gas? It's not really a question, it's more of like a mandate from my wife. All right, dad jokes aside, I'm back in the shop and I have a second project. Now, for those who are new to the channel, welcome. First of all, I do multiple projects at once. And I've come to this not necessarily by necessity because of YouTube, but because some projects require more time than others, and there are, within my building process, there is a benefit to taking a step back, taking a break, and let the thought process lead itself to plan new things. So we've got the Model 44 project. It is going to be a phenomenal project, but it's going to take a long time because I need to think through problems as I build, need to gather my wits about me to tackle new things. But I have this other project here that it will answer the question that I pose. That is, okay, so just a little teaser. So let me turn you around and talk about the power plant for this. All right, so on the table, I've got an electric setup and a gas setup. So this is a DLE 20, and this is a perfectly good running engine that provides plenty of reliability and power. That said, so is this. And you guys know that I am a huge supporter of electric and electric conversions. Now, what are we working with over here that says that it's roughly equivalent to that? Okay, so first and foremost, we're starting off with a ZTW ESC 125 amp 5 amp BEC. It's programmable, can change the voltage here, get 6 volts out of this kid. Now we can go to a different voltage on the BEC, something that's a little bit more robust, even just go straight 2S LiPo or even 5-cell lithium ion. Sorry, not lithium ion, nickel metal hydride. We can do that for a receiver pack as well, which I may go ahead and do. However, this is a really great ESC, has been very robust, and I've used it on 2 models now. So I'm recycling, I'm reusing here. That said, that this motor is capable of putting out 2,500 watts. Well, that's what it's rated for. Again, if you're new to the channel, this is where I tell you a little bit. I mean, it sounds like a sales pitch, but it's really not. Sunny Sky motors are really good motors. Now the V3s like this one with the blue cans on them, I will tell you that they are rated for more than what they state they're rated for. I had a conversation with the guys at BuddyRC, and they said that they had one of the 40cc electric motors sent to them, and that Sunny Sky told them they wanted them to try and break it, to blow it up, and they couldn't. Okay. So, a lot of current. That motor was rated for 4,000 watts, and I think they said they had it pushing 6. It was over 5. I know it was over 5, if I recall that conversation correctly. A lot of current, a lot of load, and that has been a reflection on my experience with Sunny Sky motors as well. So, we are going to roll with this motor because it is on paper rated for 2,500 watts and is in the area that I'm looking for. So the model that we're looking for, we want to try to power about 100 watts per pound, maybe a little bit more. And the flying weight says somewhere around 14. So we're definitely in that ballpark. So it depends on the load that I put on the spinny bit here on the front to make it a spinny blade of death. So that leads us to this engine. The DLE 20cc is rated for 2.5 horsepower which is just over 1,800 watts. Electric, like equivalency, going back and forth here, okay? So that puts these engines, depending on how we load the electric one, more or less in the ballpark of each other. This one being honestly the underdog in the equation. However, it should still be able to match this. Let's talk about that. So the pea shooter, the Boeing P-26 pea shooter, it's one of these oddball airplanes that I just love. It's part air racer, part fighter, part Golden Age, part World War II. It's kind of everything mixed into one. And that's part of the reason why I love it. We have a number of great things about this model. First and foremost, for this experiment, we have provisions for both electric and gas. Haven't 100% confirmed it, but there is contact information on the Seagull website. This is a Seagull model for replacement parts. So I'm thinking that I may be able to get a second cowl if I go to the gas conversion and I want to go back to electric. Okay, so that's the caveat, is that this model's been around for a while, so I should be able to get replacement parts and make the conversion back. So let me talk about this model just a touch. Let me get it on the bench and show you some of the parts that are in the box. So first and foremost, this is an ARF. This is not a kit. So this is more or less just assembling stuff for me. But there are some really good things about this that are going to help me with the Model 44 build. And first and foremost on that is going to be the flying wires. So getting the flying wire terminations done is going to be a really fun challenge for me. I'm going to try to do this as scale as possible. What's cool about this is there's one in the local museum. I say local, it's like an hour away, but it's the Udvar-Hazy Museum in Virginia. It's only an hour away, so it's a good excuse to meet up with a buddy, and we'll go check that out and get some photographic evidence of what we should be doing there. Now, also, other thing we have to talk about is that recommends a 30cc. Why? Okay, why am I going with 20cc? All right, so it's a fair question. I did reach out to Legend Hobby to talk about this particular conundrum. So I have assembled the Seagull GB Model Z. That is about the same size airplane with about the same size drag, about the same weight. And that airplane flies amazing on 20cc. So that's my logic. I feel like some models, the recommended power is overpowering the airplane. Why? I don't know. It's true for a number of models out there. So with that in mind, I am a scale guy. I believe in having scale power. So that's what we're going to target. We're going to target having enough power to sustain flight and do some basic maneuvers that were accurate for the time. But I'm not trying to get too much more than that so that I'm not prone to overfly the airplane. Basic logic. So if you're new to the channel, that's my philosophy in building and powering, etc. Moving on. So stepping aside from the box, we have a couple of problematic pieces here. First and foremost, the wheels out of the box. I'm gonna let her squeezing as hard as I can, and these tires are just rock hard, absolutely rock hard. The Pilot looks like a cartoon, while there's actually like some wrinkles and some details. We can do better than this with that. So we're gonna use the tools we got and make improvements. So that takes us back to the box where we have Dubro tires. These are 4.5-inch inflatable tires, and these have amazing cushion, which will help dissipate a lot of the energy on landing, and that's what we're going for. There have been reported issues with the landing gear, and I think part of it is the stock tires. We'll address the other ones when we get there. I have an idea for that to reinforce / change the game on this model with respect to the landing gear. All right, so moving on. One of the other key components we're going to try out on this one is servos. I got 2 servos here, and it's been a really great season to meet a lot of new people, and that included some great people at FreeSky. Their exact servos are, honestly, I'm very impressed with them. I have no experience with them. Why does that matter? I'm so glad you asked. Their servos are, from what I can tell, every bit as high quality as any other brand, and they have some amazing track records. I see some absolutely stunning models, including turbine jets that use these servos. So I need to test the water. And so they sent me these to try out. I did not pay for them, so thank you, FreeSky, for these evaluation servos. And I intend to try them. What I can learn from them is tremendous because they have telemetry. There's full telemetry on these. So I can try them, the intent is to try them on the flaps, because the flaps are going to see the most amount of current draw and situations. So these have been spec'd to be pretty powerful because I've had bad luck with these kinds of split flaps before, where they basically just open like barn doors and the servos burn up or fail or aren't strong enough. So hopefully that's not a problem here, and I'll be able to get some great data in the process that I can carry back to you guys. So other than that, the fit and finish of this is really, really good. I'll go over some of that stuff, but there's plenty of videos on this in the web, so I'm not going to bore you with an unboxing. What I will say is that the control surfaces are pocketed. Like, for this to be included on an ARF, like, kind of blows my mind, because you just don't see it very often. I apologize for the plastic sound, but I have to show this to you because it's honestly like one of the best parts about this model. See how there's a pocket and the offset hinge is built in? All of the control surfaces are like this on this model. Mind-blowing, because that's a scale detail that so many models miss, and it adds so much realism to the model on the ground from like 6 inches away. So something to look forward to, all right? So that's sort of the gist of the project. Why do this? Again, for those who have been around for a while, you know that every year I go to an event called SEF, Southeastern Electric Fun Fly, or Flight Festival. Depends on who you talk to. It's in Americus, Georgia at Hodges Field. Mac Hodges is a very gracious host of the event. I really appreciate the club down there that puts on this event. It's a super good time. And I want to take this model to that event in electric form and fly the snot out of it and just have a really good time with the model. So that is this year's big SEF build. We're going to do a lot of really fun scale detail things to this to bring it there and talk about building and how I was able to add some details to this model, because I try to bring something new to that event each year. So that is one purpose of this. Then I want to take it home and convert it to gas and then play with it during the summer before the corn grows in. This another factor. Corn this year at my flying field. Anyway, so then by having it converted to gas, is a perfect candidate for like Warbirds and Classics events, right? But having the gas gives it a little different experience. So I can take it to those events too, enjoy it in that way, and then sort of get an overall feel of which one I like better for this particular model, which I think will be a kind of a fun experiment, because I've never really done it before, to have the exact same plane with 2 different power plants and sort of look at how I feel about it. And I can share that with you guys, my impressions, my thoughts, advantages and disadvantages aside from the vendor of the model, etc. Really the focus is on the power plants and looking at electric fuel versus wet fuel. All right, so that's it. Now, I appreciate you guys hanging around for the end of this video. Do go over to dubro.com and check them out. Use code Josh10 at checkout for 10% off. I get nothing from it. I get nothing from those things that you buy. That discount is purely for you. That said, the Sunny Sky motors and the ZTW ESC, those are from BuddyRC. I have an affiliate link for that in the description as well. And feel free to head on over there and take a look around. I swear by this new powertrain, the Sunny Sky with the ZTW ESCs, whether it's Beetles or the Mantis series, they're both good. The Mantis is a little bit nicer, but check things out there and certainly try to pick something up for your next model there too. Highly, highly, highly recommend them. So until next time, guys, I'm going to keep working on this. I'm going to keep working on that. I'm going to keep working on the Dubro project for the live stream there so that we can enjoy some amazing flying works of art.